Welcome to another outdoor photography and activity video. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to backpack up to the Terry Hennessy backpacking site at Yellow River State Forest. This is a little bit different video, or a little bit different effort, because I haven't gone super lightweight with camera equipment for a while, or not lightweight but minimal, and I also haven't backpacked for a good number of years. But today I'm going to try to put it all together, hike up there and spend the night, assuming that there aren't people there. If the sites are already used, then I'm going to just hike back and I'll find something else to do. But let's hope that I've got an open spot and can enjoy the Terry Hennessy backpacking site here at Yellow River State Forest. Join me. As I saw in previous videos when I scouted this out, in fact one by a buddy named Shane, you start out on this 2-lane road, but I do believe that this is going to switch to single track at some point. I don't know how well developed the trails are. I may or may not go down them. It all depends. I'm not wearing anything, long pants for the stinging nettles, so if they're thick, I'll just go to the campsite right away. Otherwise, I hope to camp quite a bit further, or hike quite a bit further miles. We'll see how they go. This is the beginning of the trail, though. I'm getting quite a late start, and it's warm, and I've already hiked a couple of miles at another spot. But boy, am I moving the air now. This is a steep climb just to get started. I guess I should have expected that, since the campsite's an overlook. Just finding the trailhead here for the Terry Hennessy campground is an accomplishment. The parking area, well, the trailhead and the parking area are just outside of Waukon Junction, and I saw when I was researching this that you don't want to bring a car down the road to get to the parking area, and that's right. Even though it hasn't rained hardly at all, it was still a road that I would not challenge with just a regular low-setting car. I was glad I had my pickup, and thought for a while I might have to put it in 4-wheel drive, but I was fine in 2-wheel drive. But that's an accurate description. It's a challenge. Nice forest trail where they can still bring maintenance vehicles in anyway here. I don't know, at some point it's supposed to go to single path. I am to my first decision in this hike. Don't know what it says here. Big Bear Trail, Paint Rock Trail, Paint Rock Overlook. I do believe I'm going to take the Paint Rock Overlook to see if there's anybody camping there, and if they are, if there are people, if I'm interested in staying in a shared site. So let's head this way. What I need to see is the sign for Terry Hennessy campground. Oh, right here. Camp Terry Hennessy. So far it's easy to hike without getting lost. And this trail looks doable. I'm gonna walk down it just a little ways, see. Oh, I don't think this is one that's gonna tear me up if I decide to do it. But I think that adds the total mileage, increases the total mileage to like 6 miles if I was doing the complete loop. But I want to find out if this Terry Hennessy site is open, because if it isn't open, I'll do that and then head back to the truck. I see what might be our first still photo of this trip. And that's this fern next to this log that's been down on the ground for quite some time. If the picture turns out, I'll share it here. I sincerely apologize for the huffing and puffing in this video, but this is a workout up here. It's warm and it's hilly, but I like it. For those who are wondering, yes, every sweat pore on my body is kicked into overdrive. A couple of important details for people wanting to backpack up here is that there's no fee whatsoever for backpacking. As long as you're hiking in, you can do it for free, but registration is required, and that's done at the Yellow River State Forest headquarters down in the, I think it's Little Paint Unit. It's a headquarters, it's on the map, but you do need to register. Simple process. They just want to know how many people are out here, and in case they have to come out and look for somebody, they know where to begin looking for you. So don't overlook that step. What's nice though is no cost whatsoever. So if you've got your equipment and you got the time, all it takes is a hike, and you can backpack in Iowa and work up a sweat doing it. I see a signpost up here to the left, but I've also seen a tent, so I don't know that I'll be staying tonight. But this is the Camp Terry Hennessy campsite here at Yellow River State Forest. I'm gonna go take a look, see what it consists of. This is the campsite. See a couple of hammocks and a tent. I'm just gonna go over here and look at the overlook. I've heard this is quite a view. Well, I can see blue of the river. However, I'm also seeing a lot of vegetation, which you can kind of see out. Let's take this trail a while. I was gonna bring the drone. I'm glad I didn't. It'd be hard to get out and into the open area. Maybe there's other scenic overlooks. Oh, here's something nice. This must be the one I've seen many times in articles about this place. Might hear the big boat on the Mississippi River. So down below, directly below, is the railroad tracks and the highway. And then on the outside of that is the river. Very pretty. Had I brought my drone, I could put it in the air right here and send it out, but I'm glad I'm not carrying that extra weight. According to the trail map, there's another overlook down the trail here, about I don't know, 3/4, half a mile, quarter mile, half a mile, something like that. So since I'm this far, I might as well go take a look. I fully expect that it'll be very much like what we just saw at the past overlook. Again, since I'm here, I'm going to go look. This is really a nice trail, considering it's out of the way. And look at all the fungus on this tree. I think I'll shoot a photo or two. If they turn out, I'll share them here. Considering there should be at least 3 people here, and possibly 4 or 5, I haven't seen anybody or heard anybody. So I wonder where they're at. Maybe they're doing what I thought about doing, and that's that they set up camp at Hennessy, and then they're doing the hike on the other ones without a load. I think that would be worth doing. I'm now on the end of this trail, I believe, and you can tell it because this trail hasn't seen much traffic. I could stand to set up my tent right here. Just spend the night here. You feel like you're a long ways away, but not really. Right down there you can see the cabins. You can hear the traffic, somebody's mowing lawn. Boats. Sounds like we might have boat traffic coming. I'll just hold the camera here for a while and we'll see if it comes by. Should be entering your view here shortly. There it is. What a view. I think what I'm going to do, since the Hennessy campground is, well, 3/4 of the way full, could be more, depending on how many people are sleeping in that tent. I think what I'm going to do is hike the Mississippi River Trail here until I get to the connection that will take me back down to where the truck is, and I'll come back up here another time. I'm fine with that because my goal for coming up here was solitude. I'm not trying to be standoffish, I just wanted some quiet time without others around. And to really explain this, I'll do this. Many of you know that I had some extensive shoulder work done. Well, that's still in the healing process, and it's quite sore. So when I sleep at night, I'm not quiet. According to my wife, I groan and moan and grunt and make a lot of noise. And I do not want to do that, sleeping in a thin-walled tent with people that, first off, I don't know who they are. Second, I don't want to disturb their night. And I can come up here anytime, and probably will when the leaves have changed more. So it's okay. I've got other things I can do. And I've gotten a good workout with my gear. There's one really nice thing about this trail, at least this time of day, this season of the year. Lots of shade. Makes for challenging lighting for photos. But it's sure an easy, comfortable trail to walk today. I should be approaching the Terry Hennessy campground again pretty soon. Since you cut through that to get to this Mississippi River Trail. I don't know that I'll see the hammocks, but the tent should stick out. But I don't see it yet. You might notice the yellow markings on the trees. That's the blazes, so you know that you're on the right trail. That's how you navigate through the campground. And I see the tent up there in the distance. So hopefully I can walk down this trail on the outskirts of the campground or campsite and not bother them, and they'll never know I went through, and they've had what they would hope is as much solitude as possible as well. That's the purpose when you're out here. Mutual respect. Up here is the trail marker leading to the Terry Hennessy campsite. I'm pretty sure, Lord willing, I'll be back. Look at this though. Isn't it pretty? I would not be opposed to coming back and just do a day hike around the entire loop, just with camera equipment. That backpack weighs about as much as my camping backpack, but it'd allow me to do that. We'll see. And I wonder what this looks like in the spring, if it's just a carpet of wildflowers. As I mentioned earlier, this outing today was twofold. One, to test the way I have this gear distributed and see if I can hike comfortably, and I can. It's the camera equipment adds extra burden, but the reward is the photos that come with it. But more importantly, I needed to challenge myself, and by that, it's been a number of years since I've been out hiking like this, and certainly since I've been able to do a solo camp. Just things have worked out that I haven't been able to do that. So tonight was going to be the night. But I also went into this knowing that if it didn't work out, I at least wanted to get miles in for today, carrying a load. Miles in general, but also some carrying the load, just to test it. Well, before I even got to Yellow River State Forest, I hiked a couple of miles with a buddy. And it wasn't steep terrain by any means, but it was a good long hike. So when I had that with this, by the time I get done, I'll be fine. I've achieved my goal for the day. No, I won't be staying overnight, but that's okay. All that means is I'm not sleeping in my tent, moaning and groaning on my air mattress. Sorry, fungus. I like to look at fungus. But anyway, I have achieved what I wanted, assuming I make it down to the truck okay. And I don't have any reason to doubt that. So let's delve into this self-challenge a little bit deeper. I mentioned earlier that I had a lot of repair work done on this shoulder, and I'm still going to physical therapy 3 times a week and working it at home, and the process is slow. Before I could have the shoulder surgery, well, like any surgery, you need to go to your doctor and they need to clear you. They saw something that kind of put a damper on things for a while. And when I created my portal to look at my medical records, the diagnosis was quite clear that I'm in cardiac failure. So what does that mean? I've had a number of tests done, and I've seen the docs a couple different times, and I do have a condition. I don't think it's going to be fatal, at least not today. But I do have a condition that might cause me to get winded, might cause my heart to get a little bit weird. The important thing is, if I end up having to go to a hospital emergency room for something else, let's say trauma, and they put a cardiac monitor on my chest, they're going to see some things on there that are going to alarm them. And I need to hopefully be conscious, or somebody's got to be able to tell them what my condition is, so that they don't do some invasive process that's not needed, because we already know what my issue is, and right now there's nothing that'll fix it. So when you retire early so that you can spend your summer paddling or hiking or backpacking or doing stuff in the wilderness, maybe leading wilderness photography trips, and suddenly between an arm surgery, an arm sling, shoulder sling, and then the cardiac diagnosis that's not necessarily good, it really kind of stinks. And you get down, and I was getting quite down, because this is not what I wanted. Medical issues never are, but this was not what I wanted. So I recently went to my cardiologist, where they said that there's not much we're going to do right now. They weren't too concerned. They're concerned, but they know what the issue is. So, and the shoulder is strong enough that if I can carry a pack, I can't lift with this arm, but I can carry the pack. And my physical therapist said, yeah, you can go backpacking. He said that earlier this week, and now I am. So that's the deeper part of this, is why I had to do this. And once again, I apologize, but I'm interrupted by fungus. I'm going to pause here and shoot a couple photos of them, I think. But that's the big reason that I had to prove that I can still do this. I don't know how long I'll be able to do it. I'm not getting any younger, but I am trying to take care of myself, keep doing this, stay on top of my game, and today has proven a lot for me, so I'm pretty happy. Now I'm going to shoot pictures of fungus. Boy, we're already to the next trail marker, and I imagine this takes me back to the truck. Paint Rock Trail. Yes, it does. I will follow it. All right, based on what I saw on this part of the hike, based on these observations, the best overlooks are heading south from the Terry Hennessy camp. I'll come up another time when I have more time and won't get caught out here in the dark. I'll walk the entire loops around this state forest. and see what they look like, see if there's more overlooks. I can do some research too, but I like to see it firsthand because everybody sees things differently. But in the meantime, I do think I saw some pretty stuff in a short amount of time. And I got a lot of sweat pushed out. I am soaked. That's okay. That's what this is all about. Working up a sweat, enjoying it. I don't know, it looks like I'm approaching a clearing of sorts. Am I already back to where I started? Yeah, let's see. Well, more signs. Yes, I think I am. I bet this is Terry Hennessy Camp on the other side. Yep. Well, that didn't take long. It's interesting how fast the miles tick away when you're talking to a camera. And I wonder how many of the people that I may or may not have walked by and didn't know it. Wonder why I'm talking to myself. What do we see here, folks? My favorite kind of trees. Aspens or birch, whatever they are, the white bark. Aren't they pretty? I don't know if my mic is picking it up or not, but the crows are sure squawking up a storm. I would guess they found an owl somewhere, because crows do not like owls, and they will harass them and harass them and harass them. Now I get to go downhill all the way. That'll be interesting. Sometimes going downhill when you're hiking is as challenging as going uphill. It uses your knees differently. When a buddy and I were hiking on part of the Appalachian Trail, I had a knee injury, and the going down was just as bad as going up. But today I'm just taking my time. I didn't bring a walking stick, I didn't bring a monopod. I'm just walking with backpack on the back, camera equipment on the front, GoPro in my left hand. So I'm just going to take it easy. Don't need to slip, tumble, cause any grief. Not only that, I'm not in a hurry. I had to shoot pictures of ferns because I hiked earlier today with a buddy who I don't think gets out on the trail quite to the level that I do. Anyway, where we hiked, we saw quite a few ferns. And when I saw ferns, I got rather giddy. And I'd often stop and look at them. I'm not so sure my buddy had the same appreciation for ferns that I did. But that's okay. To each their own. Since I won't be eating tonight at a backcountry camp, people might wonder, well, what are you missing out on? What were you going to have tonight? So let's talk about that. I was going to pick up a freeze-dried meal. I didn't have a chance to stop at the local outdoor store. Any place else that I looked, they're all $9.95 a piece, which maybe that's the going rate for them now. I don't know, but that seems rather expensive. I can eat some of the freeze-dried. Some of the freeze-dried meals are quite good. But I just didn't feel like spending that kind of money tonight for a single overnight hike. So what's plan B? I stopped at the local grocery store and I bought one of those side dish noodle, chicken flavored noodle things. Not ramen, but a little thicker than that. And then I was planning to buy chicken in a pouch. Stir that in and have me a little casserole. Well, the problem was Our local grocery store that I stopped at only carried tuna in a pouch. So I was gonna have chicken noodles with tuna added in. And there was just something about that that didn't sound good. So on the way up, I did stop. I found one of the big box stores, probably the one you all know about, that has just about everything. And I was able to find for $1.50 a pouch of chicken. I don't bring jars and cans out here because, first off, that's not a good idea. Some places prohibit that. Second, you have to carry it out. It's extra weight. But if I can get it in a pouch, I don't mind buying it that way and then adding it to those little salad mix things. So that's what I'm missing out on, is my chicken and tuna, or chicken and chicken, depending on how I mixed it. I actually thought what I would do is, while I was boiling water for the chicken salad thing, you know, where I was going to add the chicken meat in a bag to, I would eat the tuna as an hors d'oeuvre, since there's nothing finer than tuna out of a bag at the end of a long day. That was said sarcastically. I'm not a big fan of tuna, but since that was the only thing I could see initially, that's what I had to buy. I am back to the truck already. This hill that was so steep going up wasn't so bad going down. And I'm back to the truck already, and I might be home before dark. As I said a couple different times, I'm not disappointed that I'm not spending the night. Could have I? Yep. Was I ready? Yep. But I also was fully prepared that if there were people there, I wouldn't stay. And much to my surprise, there were people here. The friend of mine who hiked this last week, he had it all to himself. I was hoping for the same good luck, but it didn't happen. So anyway, I will come back again another time and check this out further. If you like these kind of videos, please click the like button, share them with friends who are like-minded, and consider subscribing, as I do these on a fairly regular basis. For those who have been with me through this entire hike with all this gear, I do thank you for joining me, and thank you for sticking with it. And I'll see you at the next video. And I thought it might be interesting to show you the path coming back here, and why you might not want to take your fancy car up here. Especially think about if it had been raining. So this isn't so bad right here. But we'll get down to the front of this. You'll see why I think that. I wouldn't bring my wife's vehicle. If she was driving a car, I wouldn't bring it down here. She drives the Honda Pilot. It would do it. I just wouldn't bring it. I don't want to put it through anything. Now, I believe the curve is coming up here. Imagine if it had been raining and this had been all wet and soupy. It's coming up here in a little bit. Right through here. I think this area right here could result in somebody getting stuck if this had been underwater. We haven't had rain for a while, and look at it now. But I'm making it through. I don't have it in four-wheel drive, but I am making it through. And there we are. We're back to the gravel road that then takes you to the left here, that takes you to the bustling metropolis of Waukon Junction. And with that, I'm going to end the video. So thank you for watching.